Have you been dreaming of visiting Africa but have no idea how to do so without breaking the bank? Hey, I'm Amy and I create travel content for a living, and I just visited my 50th country, Zambia, while spending $0 on rent. So let me tell you all about how I did it. As a longtime traveler, I've used Worldpackers, which is a work trade platform, to do work trades around the world and spend $0 so that I could save money and travel more. There's already a couple videos on my channel here where you can see me talking about just the overall pros and cons of these different Worldpackers experiences. So today I thought it'd be really helpful to show you everything I was doing in Zambia so you can get a feel for it and see if it's something that you might want to do. If you're not familiar with the platform, it connects people like me, travelers, and hosts that want to offer up their accommodation in exchange for a few hours of work every single day. Sometimes it's a hostel, it could be an eco project, it could be kind of anything. Sometimes it's even house sitting. So it really ranges from place to place. But today I want to talk to you specifically about the hostel I was volunteering at in Zambia. Zambia had been on my list of places I wanted to see for a while now, and it wasn't until I saw a girl talk about this specific Worldpackers experience on social media that I thought, okay, hey, this is a good opportunity to go and I will save a lot of money if I do it this way. So I just sent her a DM, asked her about the experience. She said it was incredible, said it was one of the best ones she's done on Worldpackers, and that kind of sold me. So I applied, I sent them a message, they asked when I'd want to come. We worked out all the details and then I booked my flights. So the hostel I was working at is called Jolly Boys and it's located in Livingstone, Zambia. I actually mentioned it in the previous video I talked about where I just kind of gave you a little bit of information about my overall experience. But let's get into what it was like actually living and working and volunteering at this hostel. First of all, you need a work visa when you enter Zambia to volunteer. So the hostel just drafted up a letter and sent it to me, and I thought I'd have to pay, but it was $0. It was free to get this visa. So I just gave it to them when I landed, and then someone from their team came and picked me up from the airport, which was really nice, and it was about a 10-minute drive back over to the hostel. I was just there at the end of March, and while technically it is considered the rainy season, it didn't rain a single day. It was like 30 degrees and sunny every single day I was there, which was perfect. The hostel itself was super laid back and really chilled. Like, it had a lot of areas where you could hang out and just relax. It had a pool area, a bar. There was no shortage of seating. There were so many areas you could hang out, so I loved that. One thing I have to say is that I definitely thought I was going to get a private room when I got there because the girl that I talked to had a private room. I think she might have just got lucky or it was the time of year she visited, but I was in a dorm room. They put me in a female-only dorm room, and at first I was kind of annoyed by that, but when I actually got into the room I realized it was better than the private room because it had aircon, and the room was kind of empty. I think at most there was like 2 or 3 other people with me. It was kind of just this one girl from Norway that I met that was really nice, and we shared a room or I think maybe Denmark. She was from Denmark, but yeah, we shared a room for about a week together, and there's like a couple other people that came and went, but it felt really safe, it was clean, and it was pretty empty, so no complaints. One major benefit of volunteering with this hostel was that you got 50% off all the food. So the bar had food. It was actually a restaurant that was run separately, and they just rented out that space. And yeah, I would get 50% off the food. So a meal would come to like $4 Canadian, which was usually cheaper than what it would cost to get all the groceries and stuff in town. Maybe like a little bit more expensive depending on what you're eating, but I thought it was so worth it. I didn't really cook that much because the food was so affordable. Also, I didn't feel like cooking a lot because it was so hot. There was a kitchen to use and it was like a decent kitchen, but because it was just 30 degrees every day, you didn't really want to be in the kitchen that much. So I would usually make my own breakfast or have like a couple snacks and stuff I can make easily. I also ended up meeting a lot of really nice people when I stayed at this hostel, which I didn't really expect, but I connected with so many different people from around the world, and I'm so happy I met them. So one of the reasons I love volunteering at this hostel so much was because it was the most fair work trade I've ever experienced on Worldpackers. I've talked about the pros and cons in other videos. A lot of the time they will overwork you, they'll give you more hours than they list, and it's super annoying. But this one was honestly so perfect. They didn't require that much work at all. It was very relaxed, very chill. All I had to do was 3 main tasks. I would write on the board every single day what activities we had going on and post that in the WhatsApp group. took about 15 minutes a day maybe. Then my other task was to get videos of people and the hostel in general and different activities going on. So at most that would take like an hour a day to do. But it was super chill. I would just send the videos over WhatsApp to the social media manager. And the last one was to just meet people, interact with the guests, get to know them. And that was kind of just to create a nice vibe within the hostel. And I loved that. I was kind of going through it because I had just heard about the loss of my Nana when I first got to Zambia, which I talked a little bit about in my previous video, but I wasn't really in the mood initially to get to know people and talk to everyone, so I didn't think that would be great, but it forced me to distract myself, and it was actually really nice to get to know everyone. I felt like I actually made some friends that I would see in other parts of the world at some point, even though I was only there for a week. So I did really appreciate that, and having this little work to do kept me busy, but like really took no time at all, if you know what I mean. As you can imagine, I would have had a lot of time to explore Livingston in my time off, but because I was dealing with personal stuff and trying to sort out if I was flying home or not, I just hung out by the pool a lot of the time, and it was kind of the perfect place to be dealing with something like that and just have time to relax. But a lot of people do the activities and different tours. You can sometimes get discounts on the tours when you are volunteering as well, which is great. All I did was visit Mosiatunya Falls, otherwise known as Victoria Falls, and that was really awesome. I just went with a couple people from the hostel, and every single day they had a free shuttle leaving at 10 a.m. So you could do that, get to the falls, and then when you left the falls, it was only, I don't even know, like $1 or so to share a taxi with a couple people. So it was really easy to do. It was beautiful, and I'm glad I got to do that. If I were to go back, of course I would do more activities, but I was just not in the right headspace when I was there. So to give you my very honest review, overall, I would highly recommend doing this experience in Zambia. It's definitely the best Worldpackers experience I've done. I think it's taken me a couple times to find ones that I think are definitely worth your time and realize which ones are not. However, it is in high demand, so if you are applying, make sure you're applying to a lot of other ones. It's the first one that would come up if you're typing Zambia, I think. It has really great reviews. A lot of people are applying for it, but just apply to others as well because you never know if you're going to get it or not. And check out some of my other videos if you want to see tips for what you should include in your application, or just let me know if you have any questions in the comment section and I'll get back to you. And also, if you do not have a Worldpackers membership already, I have an affiliate code. So if you want to sign up, you can get 20% off any membership. I get a small commission at no extra cost to you. The code will be linked right below in the description box, the top link, so you can access that easily. And yeah, you'll get 20% off. I've done a lot of experiences now with Worldpackers, and it's by far one of the best ways to travel if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend any money on accommodation. Another little con I guess I have to say about this experience is just that the internet's not amazing if you're working remotely like I was. If you're taking calls, you could probably do it pretty easily, but there aren't like separate areas to do work calls from. You would have to do it just with headphones in a common area. And for me, I was uploading YouTube videos that were really high quality, and it took so long. Like it took 2 days to upload a video because the file was pretty big. So that's one downside. They do have some cafes in the area that have stronger Wi-Fi, and I went there and it still was taking a while to upload a video. But if you're just doing basic like emailing type of work, you would be fine. Otherwise, I have to say, hands down, best work trade I've done on Worldpackers. That's all I have to say about this work trade in Zambia. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me because I post a new video every single Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!